Okay, so today I'm going to try to salvage what many would consider to be a garbage fleece. So let me tell you what I mean by a garbage fleece. So this fleece is from an alpaca, and this particular animal lived at a wildlife rescue, and he had grown very woolly, and so the folks that run the rescue decided to give him a break and shear him to give him less wool so he could be cool in the summer. So they weren't trying to preserve a fleece, they were trying to add to the comfort of an animal. So when they sheared this alpaca, they, or whoever sheared him, they cut the fur just indiscriminately. So if you look in here, there are some sections, such as this, where they have everything from where the fur grew all the way out to the tips, and they got it all off in one piece. This is good fur, wool. Well, it's not wool, it's alpaca, but this is a good bit of fleece, nice for spinning. But then you have little chunks like this and this, where they really just were cutting stuff off to make the alpaca's fur short so he'd be comfortable. So we have a mixture here of good and bad, and as you can see, there is a lot of debris. This animal hadn't been sheared in a long time, and as will happen with woolly animals, he had gone along gathering up as much of his environment as his fleece could carry. And now, when they sheared him, all of the debris that was in his fleece came with his fur. So I have had this fleece for a good amount of time. It was moist when I first got it. It was kind of a mess. I have let it dry out. It's seasoned, as it were, and it's quite dry now, and most of the debris is crumbly and can be shaken loose, but it also sticks. So what I'm going to do, first of all, with this fleece, is I am going to try to poop it, as it were, because it has a lot of poop and it sticks and leaves, but mostly it was a horse rescue where he lived, and so I suspect a lot of this is horse manure. Fortunately, it doesn't smell bad, but there is some very nice wool or fleece here that I want to preserve, but in the process I'm going to have to get through all this stuff. And you know, I could pick through it and throw out everything that's short or just too dirty, but I'm actually trying to use as much of this fleece as possible. So this is just the first step, and there'll be more, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, piece by piece, and this is going to be tedious, kind of pick through the chunks of fleece, shake them out, get as much of the big debris off as I can, and then I'll set them aside, and then I can scour the fleece to remove. As you see here, if you look at the coloring, this is very dirty. The fleece, the animal, is white, but you see there's these brownish and darker patches. That's just dirt. It's just accumulation of living in a barnyard, basically. So I'm going to have to clean this as well as remove all the debris. So here's the first step. So just taking little pieces at a time. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but I just want to give you an idea of what I'm doing. Taking chunks. I'm starting with what looks like the cleanest stuff, picking it over, shaking it out. This is actually a very clean bit here, probably from the top of the animal, and doesn't need much picking. And this as well. So if I can get these pieces out first, that'll be easy. And then there'll be some mixed bag like this, where there's some nice long and clean stuff, but then there's, you know, pine needle and manure and dirt and lots of chunks of stuff. I don't know what, I didn't actually visit this animal, so I don't know what his environment looked like. I mean, I can only guess from what I see in his fleece. But anyway, so the first step is going to be, to salvaging this garbage fleece, is going to be picking through the debris. Now obviously if I needed a fleece to spin, I wouldn't start with this one. This is more of a project just for fun, see if I can do it, see if I can make something usable out of what to many spinners would probably be a garbage fleece. So we'll see how it goes.